Hi, my name is Elizabeth Vargas. I am a student in Health 43301D, and I will be presenting on femicide. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy. There are many types of violence against women. Verbal harassment, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and femicide are a few examples. For this presentation, we will focus on femicide, which is defined as the intentional murder of a woman on account of her gender. Femicide is at the far end of the spectrum of violence against women as it ends in death. So who is affected by femicide? As previously stated, women and girls are both affected by femicide. According to the World Health Organization, pregnant women are at an even higher risk. In Latin America, femicide occurs at random. Historical murders of women without a cause other than their sex has marked places like Juarez, Mexico, and Central America. These acts are committed simply because the victim is a woman. In the Middle East and South Asia, women experience femicide due to honor killings. Honor killings are the murder for an assumed or an actual sexual or behavioral transgression. In India, femicide manifests itself as dowry related. This is when conflicts related to dowry lead to a woman's death. It is also known as dowry killings. Femicide is a health concern because the outcome of it is death. In fact, gender-related honor killings take an estimated 5,000 female lives per year. Intimate partner murders also reflect a gender disparity. According to the World Health Organization and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, a study showed that more than 35% of all murder of women committed globally was by a former partner, while only about 5% of all men's murder was committed by women. Within that 5%, most were done in self-defense. Gender roles have an effect on the execution of femicide. Men are typically seen as more powerful in countries like India, Asia, and Latin America. These gender roles make women submissive to men. For example, the femicides in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, show the grotesque effects of machismo on women, who are vulnerable due to being in poverty and due to their gender. This is an example of intersectionality because victims are women or female, but also they are women of certain ethnic or racial backgrounds. This gives them a limited status that is automatically given and puts them at a disadvantaged position. The target population for an intervention is women. One method of intervention is through awareness and advocacy for women. For example, the use of social media to bring awareness in Latin America has been effective. The movement Ni Una Menos began with a hashtag in Argentina to declare that femicide is a human rights violation and to bring awareness to the number of femicides occurring in the country. As a result, in 2009, this movement encouraged legislation known as the Ley de Protección Integral de las Mujeres and continues to push for protection for women at risk. Another instance of awareness was recently in the news when beauty pageant contestants in Peru recited femicide statistics instead of body measurements. This reached a large scope of an audience and was all over social media as well. Another method of intervention is within strengthening policy against domestic violence perpetrators before it's too late and another victim's life is claimed. One way to do so would be to create a registry of domestic violence perpetrators. This would enable data collection and strengthen surveillance, similar to a sex offender registry. Other ways to bring awareness and offer help would be to educate women during healthcare provider visits and in schools. In the case of domestic violence, posters in women's restrooms with phone numbers for help would be very useful. These posters would only be visible to women and they could signal for help in a private way once they have the access to do so. Policy strengthening engages with intersectionality by specifically protecting women. It could engage with race or ethnicity by adhering policies to specific cultural representations of male power, for example, machismo in Latin America. This could make microaggressions punishable by law. Violence can be stopped before it leads to death by punishing microaggressions. This awareness engages with intersectionality by creating an avenue of expression in different languages that focuses on femicide at the same time. In sum, gender, in this case being female, is positioned within femicide because it is the murder of women due to their biological gender. Gender is positioned in the interventions by giving women a voice through advocacy and by giving women protection through policy.